This is important enough for me to share with you. Now, this is not public, only people who have the link can hear it. Um, but there's an issue and there's a concern, and it's with the child. Now, there's a child, Sean. He's a good kid. I've got to know this kid. I like him so much. He's trying so hard to listen to me. With everything, with his entire nature, he just wants to get up and bust Doug in the face. But he's trying so hard not to do it. And he's closing his eyes, and he just wants to be left alone. And out of frustration, I told Sean, is there anything that I will do anything for you? If you can go the rest of the day without responding, if you just don't talk to him, I swear, man, whatever you want, that's what it'll be. And he's like, I want Chick-fil-A. And I was like, well, you got it. I swear, if you can go the entire day without speaking to him, there you go. So, at the end of the day, and this is the thing they had a problem with, and it's just like, well, that's fine. This child is more important to me than their feelings. He asked me, he's like, Mr. Brown, what about my Chick-fil-A? Because we agreed Monday that I would just DoorDash it here, and he would get it. And I said, no, you didn't go the entire day without talking to Doug and going back and forth. And then he got really animated, and he was just like, yes, I did. And I was just like, I didn't hear him. I wasn't in the room. I'm assuming there's no way possible that happened. So I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt, okay? Because I know in my head there's no way this kid went the entire day without engaging him and without talking to him. And then Mr. Kane tells me that basically what's going on, like, he really has tried hard not to talk to anything. And there was a certain situation, Mr. Dougie Doug was trying to get him to talk to him. And he was saying, and then he was finally, like, and he would say stuff to Kane. And so that's what he conveyed to me. And I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but he looked like he did to me, and he looked like he was about to cry when I didn't believe him. And then I was like, are you serious? And he's like, man, that's what I've been doing all day. I've been working for this Chick-fil-A. And then so Monday, I am not going to be there to give it to him. That's going to make him mad. He's also a smart person. He's going to figure out that Mr. Brown is just not there anymore. They're unprofessional. They're going to say some stuff about it because I've heard people have said stuff. But like basically Miss Hall, that Miss Hall said this. And I was just like, well, there's two sides to every story. There's not. And then I tell my account. And then sometimes, like, I was just like, okay, well, but the issue is here, and this is the truth. If I was in a majority white school, this could never happen. And that's the truth. And I'm black. I love my people. But I know us intimately. The only racism I've ever seen really take place in front of my own eyes was black people towards white people. But according to some people, black people can't even be racist. Because they don't have the power and the definition. I don't care about definitions. All right? Not only can black people be racist, black people are the most racist people. Because if no other reason, they're racist against themselves. They're focused on race more than anybody else. Indians are dark as hell, and some Indians are darker than black people. but Indians don't have the issues in their head. Now, Miss Hall bucked on me twice based on something I said. That's the first time I've had a woman buck on me in my life. And I'm like trying to, it's like, should be common sense. Because this is the truth. She pulled off her necklace. Like, she ripped it off and squared up. And her eyes were just bulging. But somehow, we're focused on what I said to this child, and she's saying it's inappropriate when it's not. A, she doesn't have good sense. B, I would estimate herself, her IQ at maybe at 87, which is within the normal range, but she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and that's just the truth. Now, I love intelligence. I'm a sapiosexual. If you prove to me I'm wrong, I will respect you more, like you. And there are times where I've conceded, like, you're right. And you do. Where you were saying the thing about the school board, that gave me pause. Well, yeah, I don't, So I was just like, okay, I need to figure it out. So I'm not an attorney, but I'm not an attorney. However, I can get an attorney on the phone like that, and I'm not talking about my dad. I'm talking about my sister, who is the lead attorney for the Hampton School Board. Now, I'm going to talk to her tomorrow at my niece's birthday party. And then, and I'm going to listen to her and see, but I can tell you that she's not going to be happy. Because I'm going to make it plain, and there's not going to be anybody there to cut me off and not let me finish what I'm saying. And that's the most infuriating thing before. It's like, I'm not free to say what I'm saying. Like, you said don't respond to Jiraiya, so I should sit there with my mouth shut, let her abuse, like, hurl insults at me like a fucking psychopath. Just new way, with such disgust in her voice. And I cannot say anything, or I can just, like, Jiraiya, down and redirect her. That would work for Mr. Hiers, but if you jumped in my body and said that to Jiraiya, I guarantee you, I would bet my anal virginity that that would not work as well as you think that it would. Now, there are no options with this child other than therapy. And I'm not a psychiatrist, but there's a case that can be made. I'm more qualified to make that diagnosis than my own psychiatrist, who I love and is a great guy. Now, you don't need a degree or a PhD or anything. You don't need a high school degree. If you know the signs that this person is in mania, the rapid speech, the hearing things that aren't there, they're thinking people saying things that they didn't say. And it happened multiple times today. Now, to be honest with you, when like you said this about the recording thing. Now, just based on a former line of work, I honestly do not care about that because we kept anyway. I write reports. I wrote all of this stuff down, and I will share it in the meeting. The whole story of 2 hours with Jiraiya. Everything Mr. Bedoy said, everything she did. I tallied how many times Mr. Bedoy told Jiraiya to get down off the damn desk. Okay? The first time it was 8. I'd like the conclusion. I told the story. And she was insulting me, like, over there writing notes. I didn't say anything. I just kept on writing. And she said, what you writing? Didn't say a word. I'm not trying to go back and forth with that. I'm just writing my notes. She's insulting me. Um, that's what I did. And I write great notes and detailed notes to encapsulate the story, and succinctly at length. It's going to be long, but you're going to get the biggest picture. And I'm not going to leave any room for misunderstanding. This girl was in crisis, and nobody is listening to me. This woman, Miss Hall, she hates me more than anybody. And I don't have hate in my heart. I don't. Now we're in a weird, I'm praying because when you decide to just to hurt somebody, like in various different ways, not physically or not illegally, but when somebody declares war on you, most people that try to dig a pit for me fall in their own trap, and for a plethora of reasons. Now, I am the best teacher that I know. This is not me being arrogant, and there's a video of me teaching this child Moses to read. That's what I showed HR, Doctor, what's her name? She's amazing. The white lady doctor that's the third office down from the left. Doctor, was it Joy? I can't. It's on the tip of my brain, but I showed her the video, and her heart melted. And he was the cutest little kid you could ever imagine, too, Moses. And his mom owns and operates the Moli Center, or Moli Center, Moli Center, Autism Center. And she's amazing what she does. She just so happens to have a child that has, and she laughed when I said this, he has a Voltron of learning disorders. And she started laughing when I said that. And this was like long after when he was actually reading. Because I was trying to get him with this H's, and I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do to put the concept of an H in this brother's mind. I'm running out of things to do. Maybe we need to go up in a helicopter, and he needs to see a big H. And like, because he could not, anyway, but he has dyslexia, of course, but that's not, like, that's not even anything. Dyslexia is not hard to get, well, I mean, there's ways, but his working memory deficit, and he has a RAM disorder. And so those two together, like, whatever he learns, he cannot retain, even the stuff. So he'll go on rolls sometimes, he'll kind of get it, and then he'll lose it. And so it was and he didn't know his letters at all. Okay? At all. The player was out in space, and he's 7 years old in the second grade. His mom has worked with him, and she's a professional. She has so many specialists and therapists. He has occupational therapists. Nobody has been successful with this kid. And she learned about my success at Rivermont with this kid, Talik. He was in the third grade, couldn't read a lick. I taught him to read. His behavior changed. I got a pay raise. I was the most popular kid in school. In that, they loved me there. So, I can make it work. And I can deal with people in a professional way. But Miss Hall, that lady, not only is she the worst teacher that I've ever seen, and I recorded the thing, and I apologize because I know that's but in my head, the end justifies to me, can you hear? I just, because I originally wanted to record it to let my friend, who is an amazing genius he loves science and he loves math, I was just going to send it to him not say anything, and just let him just see what he said back. Like, what the hell is this? Um, and then I was gonna fill him in. I was like, this is the science lesson. It's on momentum. She doesn't understand what the moment. She doesn't understand what the F she's talking about. She doesn't understand her subject that she's teaching. Not only is she not prepared, she doesn't understand it. Even if she did prepare, she's trying to teach momentum, right? What is it? If this is exactly how she sounded, what is it like? Would you go faster going up a hill or down a hill? And in my head, I was like, well, that depends. If you're going 80 miles an hour up a hill, or 20 miles an hour down a hill, that changes. That has nothing to do with momentum or anything. And she's been teaching this same lesson the entire time that I've been there. Force. It's about 3 minutes. She asks some questions that they don't know. That she doesn't know, but she said something. Do you remember? She asked, "Hey, do you remember the second week we were here? We were doing Newton's laws, and she was like, do you remember the second week?" And he was like, "No." And the only thing that woman has going in her favor is she has that attitude where she can wrangle kids, and she's not afraid to engage kids. But she goes back and forth with the kids, but the kids don't get so upset anyway with Uriah. Like, yeah, it's like now they're thick as thieves. But before, she goes in the stuff that she said. I was like, oh, I wouldn't say that to a child, Uriah. But what I was saying, everything I said, and I wrote it all down, everything that I said to Uriah that was taken issue with. And when you read it on paper, we'll see. Like, was it so bad? Me trying to tell Sean and Douglas, y'all are going to just have to squash this beef. It's ridiculous. Y'all can't even ride the same bus. And you would like each other if you got to know each other. That's all I was going to say. Something to that effect. But she wouldn't let me. She tried to silence me. And I'm supposed to just shut up because this lady, the worst teacher I've ever had, who does not like me because she wanted me to escort a child out the room and I wouldn't put hands on. And she has not forgiven me because she's petty and she's like nasty. She's a witch of a woman. And I don't mince words, and that's the truth. And I would not say that about anybody else. Everybody else is cool. I like Mr. Bedoy. He just happens to be the second worst teacher. At least Mr. Bedoy has little cutouts or little things, but he gets up there and guys, and he does not command respect, at zero respect. They tune him out like he's not there. They keep going with their conversations, and he keeps sitting up there. Guys, try get off the table. Try, God, please. And he said, please. He says, please. And she's not paying him any attention. Now, the only people that listen to Dry listen to are you and Miss Day. And I don't know if you have that ivory tower thing, because sometimes my dad forgets. He lives in his own way. Like, you're not getting the full experience here. People treat you that way because of who you are. This dude's an asshole. Like, he has a friend. He's not a friend anymore. But Eric Canner, he's my arch enemy. He's the guy who hates me more than Ms. Hall. I've known him since I was 8. And he's nasty. And he's stupid. He's not smart. He married his wife's money. He married into the most powerful family in Richmond. His wife is a banker. And Goldman Sachs is, and so he married the money. Between me and you, and I don't care if he sues me, if he hears this, the player is gayer than a daffodil. Okay? Now, I can't say that for sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. And because I've caught him, and I'm good at people. I'm good. I surveil my pastor, And my dad lost his mind because I just wanted to see what he did all day. And I wanted to see if I could catch him breaking the law. And I did. And that's the only time me and my dad fell out. But that church is now, it's a mega church in Richmond, it's now predominantly black people. Right? It used to be white people when we were there, and it was small. It's turned into one of the biggest churches in Richmond, if not the biggest church. He has the most money-hungry, greedy pastor that you can imagine. And I cannot stand him. And that's one of my dad's close friends. Because my dad is in the church. And I knew my dad was going to be mad. But I didn't care. Because I wanted to see with my own eyes what he did. So I decided to surveil him. And I stalked him. And I stalked the fuck out of him. And I got the land records. And I did so anyway. Like, did he break the law? He can let me count the ways. He broke the rule of annulment like every day, like every hour on the hour, using private resources for public, using public resources for private purposes. He can't do that. Like, and he did it. Like, if he takes a jet and flies to the Bahamas, he can't do that. According to the rule of annulment. Now, they don't enforce it, but I found some other stuff out on him. And he takes bribes. I found out so much stuff about him because, well, I'm not gonna, but I did. So, what I decided to do, and I know this is gonna sound out there, but it's the truth. And me and my dad kind of fell out for a little while. He loves me, I love, but he was so fucking mad, like he wanted to kill me, and so embarrassed, and so, I made a little 20-minute Project Randy video, and I'm sorry, the thing was well produced, you know. I'm kind of like Max Fisher in Rushmore. If you've ever seen that movie, he goes overboard with his productions. Like, that shit was professional. And Randy was shocked. And it started out. And I just laid the truth out. Not only we led up to where he broke the law, all the many times he broke the law, but I told the story about him growing up. I gave the people the perfect picture. He didn't know what to do. And then Jennifer Gilbert, his nasty daughter, I like his son, but the daughter is just mean, just like his mom. Like, these people are not nice. And the only reason they give us the time of day is because of who my dad is. But my dad doesn't understand that. That's one of his weaknesses. So he does not get the full experience. And sometimes I'm afraid that you don't either. Especially now, you know, Miss Hall has kind of got her kind of seeing what's going on. And I know the truth will come out, but I'm just telling y'all, if I see a kid getting bullied, I'm going to stop it. That's just me. And that was happening. Especially a little white kid getting bullied by a colored black. No. No, we are here, and so we're going through, and I'm trying to keep it together, and I did a good job with all the flashbacks and the trauma I have from that. Okay? Bullying there's a no bully zone anywhere in a 360 circumference around Mr. Brown. And I don't apologize for that. If I saw you bullying somebody, I'd say something. As much as I respect you, I don't care who it is. The superintendent. If I saw the mayor, Bobby, my friend, Bobby Dyer, who I think who I kind of want to run against, but now I don't know what we're. Anyway, anywho, yeah, it's like, I mean, if I had to talk to the mayor and just tell him the story, I would just say, y'all better not try to fire me. That's all, and I'm just saying there would just be. I'm just keeping it like straight 100. That would be catastrophic for CSEP. That would be catastrophic for your professional career. And I wouldn't want that to happen. But I've got too much stuff, I've just got too much data of what's going on, and I can put it all together. And this is the story, and this is the case, and I can this is part of the reason why, you know. Well, anyway, I won't get into that. All I will say is that what I'm kind of done with Miss Day right now. I respect her, and I still think she's a great person, but I'm not going to go to her for anything else until she can see another side of me. Based on one thing she said, and it just told me that she was on some dummy time right there. And not saying she's a dummy, she's not. But Miss Hall was on some dummy time, and sometimes, especially with women, they can get on that same dummy network where they will disagree with whatever you say, even if it doesn't make any sense. So I figured out what was going on, and I told Damar, and he understood it. The girl Sarai is like, the reason why she flipped out was because he told her she doesn't matter. She's I forgot exactly, but what she told him, she has a crush on him. She likes him. And I can see it clear as day. But it's not surprising me because every girl in that school does. He has game. He's a good looking kid. I like the kid. I think if he can make good choices and get a good male mentor and get him like channeled, and I think I could be that person, I would still like to work with him and not just disappear out of these kids' lives, because that would be a disservice to them, because they do like me except for Drya. So I just want to do it for these kids. That's why I care. I do it for in my Father in heaven. He says, to whom much is given, much is required. Then he goes on to say, to whom much more is given. And that gives me chills. Much more is required. And people don't even really think about that. And a lot of times they don't read the Bible. But I pay attention to every jot and tittle. Well, there's the jot and tittles that's the Old Testament. But anyway, every word, everything that comes out of Jesus' mouth and my Father in heaven's heart, I meditate on it and I think about it. And that always put pressure on me because I've been given a lot. And you wouldn't know that. But you haven't encountered a lot of people like me. Now, when I say that I'm the best teacher I know, and I'm getting traded, I'm getting sided against with the worst teacher I know, and I'm holding back on this girl, I swear to God, I could say some shit that would hurt her heart and make her, she probably would try to kill me if I said some of this stuff. I wouldn't get fired, though. It would be true, and, but I could really mess with her head if I wanted to. And Mr. Hiers, you would be like, oh, you can't say that. But you would know it's true. But I wouldn't do that. You know why I would not drop the atom bomb? Because she would lose sleep. But because of her family. Let's say that she's so fucking mad, and then she has a call with her son, and now all of a sudden it's just, and then he's having a bad basketball game in Dubai, and all this is, it's just, your choices have consequences. But at this point, she's on my list now. She's on my vile list, and I don't have a vile list is where I'm gonna make an example of you because you deserve to be made an example of, and you brought so much like smut to my name, and so much drama around me that would not exist had you not been in that room. because she's evil, she's mean, she is not a child of God. She's also the most, okay, this is another fact. I can honestly say that. She's the most passive-aggressive person I've ever met in my life. And I don't even know if passive-aggressive would be what would be the term to explain what she's doing. She's pretending, she'll be like, even to Miss Tom, she's like, Miss Tom, what are you doing? Go, get out the hallway. Go back to work. She, like, all day long, that's how she greets people, like her colleagues. And it's okay, that's what it's been, but it's just not really normal, but she does it all the time. And just listen out for it. I don't know. If I were you, I would put videos all in there. It's like, let these parents see their kids acting like this. Let Miss Hall know that she's on video recording, and now she actually has to prepare. But she would be hopeless without it. I don't know what she would do if you put that camera on her. Because she would be forced to try to do something, but she does not have the knowledge, and she does not have the mental wattage to pull that off, or to improvise, or to make something up, or to anything. Her saving grace is you don't know how bad she is. Like, you understand that there's something wrong. You said, you'd be worried at Walmart if you bump, because the way that, and you saw that she didn't acknowledge the fact that she did anything wrong. She's just not a quality person. She's a POS, in my opinion, and I believe that the truth will come out. But my biggest concern is Sean, and that's all I gotta say. Sean, please let me get that kid some food. Or you bring some food. I don't have to do it. Do something. Get the kid to get Chick-fil-A. It would be in the best interest of everybody. And find a way to let him know he's still getting it. Okay? Because he's going to be mad if you're not. And it'll be better for everybody. And this is not rocket science. It should sound like common sense now. Alright. Ciao.